I'm restoring a stranger's forgotten grave. While 8 months pregnant, it was covered in moss and years of decay. So I'm doing whatever it takes to make this resting place beautiful again. I covered the front of the gravestone in magic foam first, giving it time to soak into every little crack and loosen years of dirt while I worked on the rest of the grave. By the time I came back to it, I hoped it would be ready to reveal not just a cleaner stone, but the person who had been resting here all along.
I wonder what kind of person is buried here. I wonder if they had a brother or a sister. I wonder if they had a pet lizard. Always start top to bottom when you clean. So let's go ahead and start cleaning the top of this grave.
Since finding out I was pregnant, I've started thinking a lot more about the people who came before us. Every gravestone belongs to someone who laughed, who had a family, who made memories, and who was loved. We might only see a name and a couple of dates, but behind those few words was an entire lifetime. That's why I wanted to do this before my baby arrives. One day, she'll grow up hearing stories about people who came before her. But before we can pass those stories on, we have to make sure we remember them ourselves.
Wow. Okay, let's clean the back of this grave next. Whoa. The back of this grave is so dirty. Moss and algae all over it.
Looking at it, I couldn't help but wonder, who were they? And before my baby is born, I wanted to do something that reminded me why people should never be forgotten. Because underneath all of this dirt is a story waiting to be revealed.
Let's try my scrapey tool.
But then I swear I saw something in the grass.
Oh, what is this? Oh, it's beautiful.
How long has this been buried for?
We're gonna save this for later. Just put it in a safe spot for now. Be very, very gentle.
Cleaning the back of the gravestone took far longer than I expected. Years of moss had worked its way into every tiny crack. Every little section had to be cleaned patiently, one brushstroke at a time. I found myself wondering how many seasons the stone had stood through. How many winters? How many summers? How many people had just walked past this without stopping? Time had quietly covered almost every trace of the person beneath it. It's so easy to think that remembering someone has to be something extraordinary. But standing here, I realize that sometimes it's much simpler than that. Sometimes remembering someone is just giving their resting place the care and attention that it deserves. By this point, it stopped feeling like I was cleaning a gravestone, and it felt like I was looking after it. Every brush I picked up, every little detail that I cleaned, made me feel even more determined to leave this place better than I found it.
Okay, so it's about 80% better, which is great. And the sparkle is back to it. You just want to make sure that we clean enough and not strip away the stone. But it looks beautiful.
But we need to do a little bit of landscaping. This grass is so overgrown, like it's been lost to time. And it wasn't just the gravestone that had been forgotten. Over time, the whole plot had slowly disappeared beneath the grass. But then I saw something else in the grass.
Oh my goodness.
Is that what I think it is?
Whoa.
I wonder who left these behind. And how long have they been here?
Another necklace.
I'm gonna make sure they stay with this grave.
And they're so pretty.
It feels like that's exactly where they belong.
Say hello to my little friend. Okay, let's cut the rest of this grass.
I wasn't thinking about whether anyone would notice these little details.
Haha.
I just wanted to know that I have done everything I could for this grave.
Goodbye, weeds. Okay, there's too many rocks over here, so I have an idea. It's my medium scissors. This ought to do the trick. Okay, get down real low.
Sometimes it's the smallest acts of care that say the most about how much somebody mattered.
Okay, fun fact, these are actually my sewing scissors. But I don't know how to sew. It's my extra tiny scissors. This ought to get it done.
Earlier today, this was just a stranger's grave. But after spending hours here, carefully working on every tiny detail, it didn't feel that way anymore. With the last of the grass cleared away, it finally felt like the grave could breathe again. All that was left now was to finally uncover the name hidden beneath all of that grime.
So you want to make sure that you do this very carefully so that you don't scratch the stone. My favorite part about cleaning graves is revealing exactly what's on these stones. It's so cool to see what the mystery is underneath all of this dirt and grime. Let's go ahead and move on to cleaning and scrubbing this grave. And then the final reveal.
This was the moment I'd been thinking about ever since I had arrived. Up until now, I'd restored the grave itself, but I still hadn't met the person whose name had been hidden beneath all those years of dirt. After everything I'd uncovered throughout the day, it finally felt like the last piece of the story was waiting underneath the foam.
Let's let this magic foam sit here for just a moment. Let it eat away at all the dirt and the grime and the moss. And then we'll start scrubbing.
As the dirt slowly lifted away, the first few letters began to appear. It's so strange how something so simple can completely change the way you see a place. Now, little by little, it was becoming someone again.
Let's get a little bit more soap on this grave, and then we'll do the final reveal.
I had spent the whole day wondering who was buried here. Every brushstroke, every little detail that I cleaned had quietly been leading to this moment. I wanted to take my time and read every single word as it slowly came back to life. After everything I'd uncovered today, all that was left was to finally discover the name that had been hidden beneath it all. Her name was Nora E. Crumley, the wife of D.C. Crumley. She was born on the 1st of August, 1902, and she passed away on the 28th of December, 1919. Nora was only 17 years old. Standing here just weeks away from meeting my own baby, I found myself thinking about how fragile life really is. We spend so much time planning for tomorrow that we sometimes forget just how precious today already is. None of us know how much time will be given, but I think all of us hope that when we're gone, somebody will remember that we're here.
Now her grave is as beautiful as she is.